After a long, demanding day, as the world finally begins to quiet, do you ever find your own mind doing the exact opposite, racing, churning through endless to-do lists, replaying conversations, or fixating on worries about tomorrow? For so many of us in this fast-paced, digitally saturated modern world, the simple act of winding down and preparing for truly restorative sleep has become an elusive dream. We lie there, grappling with sleep anxiety, feeling the heavy weight of yesterday's burdens and the mounting pressure of tomorrow's challenges, all converging just as we desperately try to surrender to the night. You've likely tried countless strategies, cutting caffeine, investing in sophisticated sleep tech, even trying to think positive. But what if there was a profoundly simple, yet incredibly powerful and ancient practice, accessible to everyone, regardless of their background, that could not only quiet your anxious mind and deeply soothe your soul, but genuinely prepare you for truly restorative, deeply peaceful sleep? This practice, at its very essence, is bedtime prayer. Now, I understand that word might conjure specific images or preconceptions, and perhaps even a bit of hesitation for some. But I urge you to broaden your understanding with me. Here, we're not talking about a rigid, dogmatic religious ritual that demands adherence to specific doctrines. Instead, think of bedtime prayer as a conscious, intentional moment of communion, gratitude, profound reflection, and gentle surrender that you carve out specifically for yourself right before you drift off. It's an opportunity to connect, whether that connection is to a divine power you believe in, the vast, mysterious energy of the universe, or simply to the deepest, most authentic wisdom residing within your own heart and spirit. It's a sacred pause, a mental and emotional reset button that allows you to acknowledge your day, release its grip, process any lingering emotions, and consciously transition into a state of profound peace and receptive calm for the night ahead. It's about bringing true intentionality and presence to the very end of your day, rather than merely collapsing into sleep out of sheer exhaustion. In this comprehensive, 45-minute deep dive, we're going to embark on a transformative journey into the art and science of bedtime prayer. My aim is to provide you with a complete, nuanced, and step-by-step guide to seamlessly integrate this potent practice into your nightly routine, regardless of where you are on your spiritual path. We'll meticulously explore its profound and multifaceted benefits, moving far beyond just spiritual comfort to tangible improvements in mental clarity, emotional regulation, and most importantly, genuinely enhanced sleep quality. We'll walk through practical applications, offering a diverse and inclusive toolkit of approaches, from traditional recitations to free-form meditations, and critically, we'll address and skillfully dismantle the common challenges and doubts that often arise, making this practice not just accessible, but deeply meaningful and sustainable for you. This isn't about conversion or adherence to dogma, it's profoundly about cultivating connection, profound peace, and inner resilience for yourself. By the end of our time together, you'll not only possess a clear, actionable roadmap to cultivating nightly peace and achieving truly better sleep, but you'll also discover how this simple practice can lead to a deeper, more authentic spiritual connection that radiates positive effects throughout your entire waking life. You'll learn how to transform those restless, anxious evenings into moments of profound solace, turning your bedroom into a true sanctuary for healing, renewal, and spiritual growth. Alright, if part 1 set the stage for why bedtime prayer matters today, let's now journey back through time to uncover its deep roots. It's fascinating to realize that the impulse to seek solace, express gratitude, or ask for protection before surrendering to sleep is not a modern invention or exclusive to any single faith. It's a fundamental human need, one that has resonated across cultures and civilizations for millennia, predating formal religions as we know them. Think about it, as the sun dipped below the horizon, our ancestors, much like us, faced the unknowns of the night. Darkness brought vulnerability, questions, and a profound sense of the day's closure. What better time to reflect, to seek comfort, and to connect with something larger than oneself? This universal practice is evident in the earliest recorded histories. In ancient Egypt, for instance, people would engage in elaborate rituals and recite sleep spells not just to ward off bad dreams, but to communicate with deities in the liminal space between waking and sleeping, hoping for prophetic visions or divine intervention. Dreams themselves were often considered messages from the gods. Similarly, the Babylonians, living in a world brimming with perceived spiritual dangers, developed intricate protective incantations. These were not merely superstitions, they were sincere pleas for safety against night demons and anxieties, voiced before closing their eyes. These early practices highlight a profound understanding that the transition into sleep was a sacred moment, deserving of mindful preparation and spiritual engagement. Now, let's fast forward and observe how this inherent human desire for nightly connection evolved within the major religious traditions that shape so much of our world today. In Christianity, the tradition of evening prayers is deeply ingrained. From the ancient monastic practice of Compline, a serene service of prayers and psalms said before retiring, to the simple, heartfelt prayers whispered by children, like the classic, "Now I lay me down to sleep," there's a powerful emphasis on reflection, confession, and trust in divine protection. It's a moment to lay down the day's burdens and surrender to God's care. Within Islam, the practice of du'as, or supplications, before sleep is highly cherished. Muslims are encouraged to recite specific verses from the Quran and personal prayers for protection, purification, and gratitude, often asking for a blessed sleep and a peaceful awakening. It's a conscious act of remembrance of Allah, bringing peace and blessings to the heart. Judaism, too, holds a sacred space for nightly prayer, most notably with the recitation of the Shema. This declaration of faith, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one," serves as a reaffirmation of divine unity and trust before sleep, committing one's spirit to God's keeping. It's a powerful way to end the day, enveloped in faith. Even in Eastern traditions like Hinduism and Buddhism, while the concept of prayer might differ from the Abrahamic faiths, the essence of spiritual preparation for sleep is very much present. Practitioners might engage in mantras for peace, mindfulness meditation to quiet the mind and cultivate compassion, or simple reflections to foster a sense of interconnectedness and serenity. The goal is often to clear the mind, release attachments, and settle into a state of awareness that transcends daily worries. What we see across all these traditions, from ancient civilizations to modern faiths, is a continuous thread, the recognition that the time before sleep offers a unique opportunity for spiritual connection, reflection, and peace. These historical and cultural roots provide a powerful testament to the enduring human need for bedtime prayer, demonstrating its profound ability to shape not just our nights, but our very sense of being. Understanding this rich heritage helps us appreciate the depth and universality of the practice we're exploring today. Now that we've glimpsed the ancient roots of this practice, it's time to confront the most pressing question: why bother? In our fast-paced, demanding world, what profound benefits can carving out a few moments for bedtime prayer truly offer? The answer, as you're about to discover, is far-reaching, impacting your mind, heart, spirit, and even the very quality of your physical rest. Let's start with mental clarity and stress reduction. Think about your typical evening. After a day filled with tasks, decisions, and interactions, your mind can feel like a chaotic storm, replaying conversations, dwelling on future worries, or chastising past mistakes. This mental clutter is precisely what bedtime prayer aims to address. It offers a conscious moment to offload the day's burdens, to process thoughts and emotions that might otherwise fester in the quiet hours. By engaging in this reflective practice, you're essentially hitting a mental reset button. You're giving yourself permission to let go of the anxieties and the mental to-do lists that keep your brain wired. This act of intentional surrender has a tangible physiological effect. It helps to reduce cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and digest. It's a deliberate shift from fight or flight to calm and repair, preparing your entire being for genuine tranquility. Next, we move to emotional regulation and gratitude. It's easy for negativity to accumulate throughout the day, a rude driver, a challenging email, a moment of self-doubt. Bedtime prayer provides a sacred container for these emotions. It's an opportunity to acknowledge them, to release any lingering anger, frustration, or resentment. More powerfully, it's a dedicated space to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. By consciously recalling and expressing thanks for even the smallest blessings, a warm meal, a kind word, the beauty of a sunset, you actively shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. This practice isn't about ignoring problems, it's about finding light even in the shadows. It helps you practice forgiveness, both for others who may have wronged you and, crucially, for yourself. When you go to sleep having released emotional baggage and focused on gratitude, you lay down with a sense of peace, not a weight of unresolved feelings. Beyond the mental and emotional, bedtime prayer nurtures your spiritual connection and purpose. For many, this is the very heart of the practice. It's a time to deepen your faith, to commune with a higher power, the universe, or your own inner wisdom. In a world that often feels disconnected, these moments offer a profound sense of belonging and guidance. Whether you're seeking comfort, direction, or simply a reaffirmation of your spiritual path, bedtime prayer allows you to tap into a sense of divine presence. It reinforces your personal values, reminds you of your purpose, and provides a quiet assurance that you are not alone on your journey. It's a daily touchstone, grounding you in something greater than yourself. And finally, perhaps the most immediate and tangible benefit for many, improved sleep quality. All the preceding benefits converge here. When your mind is clear, your emotions are regulated, and your spirit feels connected, your body naturally follows suit. The direct correlation between reduced anxiety and the ability to fall asleep faster and sleep deeper is undeniable. Bedtime prayer helps break the notorious cycle of rumination and restlessness, where your thoughts spin endlessly, preventing true rest. Instead of tossing and turning, you arrive at sleep from a place of peace. Imagine your brainwaves shifting from the frenetic activity of the day to a calm, steady rhythm. That's the effect we're talking about. This practice isn't just about preparing for sleep, it's about preparing for restorative sleep, the kind that recharges your body, renews your mind, and invigorates your spirit for the day ahead. So, the why of bedtime prayer isn't a mystical riddle, it's a profound, evidence-based roadmap to better mental health, emotional resilience, spiritual growth, and, ultimately, the deeply rejuvenating sleep we all crave. Now that we've explored the rich history and powerful benefits of bedtime prayer, let's get down to the practical essence: what actually makes an effective bedtime prayer? Whether you follow a specific faith tradition or are simply seeking a mindful way to end your day, certain universal components can transform a simple moment into a profound ritual. Think of these not as rigid rules, but as guiding principles, flexible frameworks you can adapt to your own comfort and belief system. Let's dive into these core elements. First up, and arguably one of the most transformative practices, is gratitude, or thanksgiving. This is your moment to consciously shift your focus from what went wrong or what's missing, to what went right and what you do have. It's about scanning your day, not for problems, but for blessings, for lessons learned, for small joys, and even for challenges that presented opportunities for growth. Expressing gratitude actively changes your brain chemistry, boosting feelings of happiness and contentment, and anchoring you in a positive emotional state before sleep. It doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but rather consciously choosing to acknowledge the good. You might simply ask yourself, what 3 things, no matter how small, am I truly grateful for today? It could be the warm cup of tea you enjoyed, a kind word from a colleague, the roof over your head, or simply the breath in your lungs. Make it a genuine expression from the heart. Next, we move to confession or reflection, which is essentially self-examination. This isn't about wallowing in guilt or shame, but rather an honest, gentle acknowledgement of your humanity. It's a chance to reflect on your actions, words, and thoughts throughout the day. Perhaps you were impatient, unkind, or missed an opportunity to be more loving or present. This component allows you to acknowledge shortcomings, learn from them, and if appropriate, silently ask for forgiveness, whether from a higher power, from others, or most importantly, from yourself. It's about releasing the mental burden of regret and setting an intention to do better tomorrow, without carrying that weight into your sleep. A gentle prompt could be, where could I have been more loving, patient, or wise today? This isn't self-criticism, it's self-awareness leading to growth and release. Following this, we have petition, asking for needs. This is where you bring your personal needs, hopes, and desires into your prayer. It's a space to seek guidance, strength, healing, protection, or clarity for yourself. There's no need to feel selfish. Recognizing and expressing your needs is a fundamental aspect of self-care and spiritual connection. You might pray for wisdom in a difficult decision, for physical healing, for courage to face a challenge, or simply for peace of mind. Frame your requests with trust and openness, knowing that the act of expressing them can itself bring comfort and focus. You might ask, what do I need strength or clarity for tomorrow, or what burdens am I carrying that I need help with? Closely related, but outward focused, is intercession, praying for others. This is a powerful practice of empathy and connection, where you lift up loved ones, friends, those who are suffering, or even broader global issues. It broadens your perspective beyond yourself and connects you to the wider human experience. You might think of someone you know who is struggling, or perhaps a global event that has touched your heart. Sending positive thoughts, intentions, or prayers for their well-being, healing, or peace is a deeply compassionate act. It reminds us that we are all interconnected. A simple question to guide you here might be, who comes to mind who could use my thoughts or prayers tonight? Then comes the profound practice of surrender and trust. After reflecting on your day, expressing gratitude, acknowledging your imperfections, and articulating your needs and the needs of others, this is the vital step of letting go. It's about releasing control over worries for the night, and trusting them to a higher power, the universe, or simply the natural flow of life. You've done your part, now it's time to release the outcome. This component is incredibly liberating, allowing your mind to switch off from problem-solving mode and truly prepare for rest. It's about saying, I have done what I can for today, and now I release what I cannot control. Ask yourself, what burdens can I lay down for the night, trusting that all will be well? Finally, and often overlooked, is silence and listening. After all the speaking, reflecting, and expressing, create space to simply be. This is not about talking, but about receiving. It's an invitation to quiet your mind, open your heart, and listen. You might not hear an audible voice, but you might experience a sense of peace, intuition, a subtle insight, or a comforting presence. This is where your spiritual connection deepens beyond words, allowing you to rest in a state of communion. Simply breathe, and allow yourself to receive whatever comes, or nothing at all, just pure, unadulterated stillness. These 6 components, gratitude, confession, petition, intercession, surrender, and silence, form a holistic framework for a powerful bedtime prayer. You don't need to include all of them every night, or even in a strict order. The beauty is in their flexibility and your authentic engagement with them. Choose what resonates most with you on any given evening. Alright, we've explored the profound why behind bedtime prayer and broken down its essential components. Now, let's get practical. This next section is all about setting yourself up for success, creating an environment and a mindset that truly invites peace and connection before you drift off to sleep. Think of this as preparing the ground for a sacred garden within your nightly routine. First, let's talk about creating a sacred space. And when I say sacred, I don't mean you need an altar and incense, unless that resonates with you. What I mean is creating a personal environment that signals to your mind and body, it's time to slow down. It's time to connect. The primary element here is quiet and calm. In our bustling lives, silence can feel like a luxury. But before bedtime prayer, it's a necessity. Minimize noise and distractions as much as possible. This might mean turning off the TV, asking family members for a few moments of quiet, or if you live in a noisy environment, using gentle white noise or even earplugs. The goal is to reduce external stimuli so your internal world can become clearer. Next, consider your lighting. Harsh overhead lights are stimulating and can disrupt your body's natural melatonin production, which is crucial for sleep. Opt for dim, soft lighting from a bedside lamp, a salt lamp, or even just the ambient glow from outside. For a brief moment, if it feels right and is safe, you might even light a candle to symbolize intention and warmth before extinguishing it. The transition from bright to dim light signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. Then, there's comfort. There's no strict posture required for bedtime prayer. Whether you prefer to sit upright in bed, kneel beside it, or even lie down, ensure you are comfortable. The idea isn't to be rigid or formal, but to be at ease so your body isn't a distraction. A comfortable position allows your mind to settle and focus on your intention, rather than on physical discomfort. And this leads us to perhaps the most critical preparation in our modern world, an electronics detox. I know, it's tough. But aim to avoid screens, your phone, tablet, laptop, TV, for at least 30 minutes, ideally an hour, before you plan to pray and sleep. The blue light emitted by these devices suppresses melatonin, and the constant stimulation keeps your mind buzzing. Instead, use this time for gentle activities like reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or simply sitting in quiet reflection. This detox is absolutely foundational for preparing your mind for truly restorative sleep and heartfelt prayer. Beyond the physical space, timing is also key to establishing a consistent and effective practice. Strive for consistency. Our bodies and minds thrive on routine. Trying to pray around the same time each night helps to build a powerful habit, creating a mental and physical trigger for winding down and connecting. It becomes a beloved ritual, something your system anticipates. Crucially, aim to engage in your prayer before deep sleep takes over. It's tempting to wait until you're utterly exhausted and about to nod off. But when you're already drowsy, your mind is foggy, and your intentions might lack clarity. Instead, engage while you are still fully conscious, yet relaxed. This allows for intentional reflection, gratitude, and surrender, rather than just a hurried, half-asleep whisper. Finally, let's talk about body and breath preparation. Your physical state has a huge impact on your mental and spiritual state. Start with some gentle relaxation techniques. This doesn't need to be a full yoga session. Simple stretches, like slow neck rolls, shoulder shrugs to release tension, or a few easy full-body stretches, can work wonders. You might also try progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and then release different muscle groups in your body, from your toes all the way up to your head. This process helps to consciously release any physical tension you might be holding onto, which is often intertwined with mental stress. And then, bring awareness to your mindful breathing. This is a powerful anchor for the present moment. Take several deep, slow breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting your belly expand, hold for a moment, and then exhale even more slowly through your mouth, letting go of any tension. A popular technique is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. Do this a few times. This mindful breathing helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, signaling to your body that it's safe to rest, calm, and connect. It brings you fully into the present moment, ready for the intentional practice of prayer. By consciously setting the scene, creating a quiet, dim, comfortable space, detaching from electronics, establishing a consistent time, and preparing your body and breath, you are not just performing a ritual, you are creating an open invitation for peace, presence, and profound connection before you surrender to sleep. Now that your space is set and your body is prepared, let's dive into the how, the actual methods you can use to engage in bedtime prayer. There's no single right way. The beauty of this practice lies in its flexibility and how deeply personal it can become. We'll explore several approaches, and I encourage you to experiment and find what truly resonates with you. First up, we have formal or traditional prayers. For many, this is the most familiar entry point. These are prayers that have been passed down through generations, often memorized and recited. Think of classic prayers like the Christian Our Father, the Islamic du'as recited before sleep, or the Jewish Shema before bed. The benefits of using formal prayers are profound. They offer the comfort of tradition, a sense of connection to a larger spiritual community that has uttered these same words for centuries. They can be particularly soothing on nights when your mind is too tired or scattered to formulate your own thoughts. They also provide a beautiful framework, ensuring that key aspects of prayer, like praise, gratitude, and supplication, are included. You don't have to be a follower of a specific religion to appreciate the power of these ancient texts. You might find a traditional prayer from a faith tradition that speaks to your soul, even if it's not your own, or you could adapt one. For instance, a simple, generic prayer could be, Gracious Presence, thank you for the blessings of this day. Forgive my shortcomings. Watch over my loved ones, and grant me restful sleep, renewed for tomorrow's journey. The key is to speak or think these words with intention, not just as rote memorization. Next, and perhaps the most accessible for many, is freeform or spontaneous prayer. This is simply speaking from the heart, using your own words, in your own way. There's no need for eloquent language or perfect grammar. Authenticity is absolutely key here. Imagine you're simply having a heartfelt conversation with a trusted friend, a loving parent, or the universe itself. You can use the core components we discussed in Part 4, gratitude, confession, petition, intercession, and surrender, as a flexible framework. For example, you might start with, Thank you for this day, for the laughter I shared, and for the lessons I learned. I'm sorry for that moment of impatience earlier, and I ask for forgiveness and the strength to be kinder tomorrow. Please watch over my family and guide me through the challenges ahead. I release all my worries into your loving care for the night. This approach allows for incredible sincerity and specificity. It's a chance to truly unload your heart and mind, tailored precisely to your experiences of that particular day. A powerful way to deepen your freeform prayer is through journaling prayer. This involves writing down your prayers, reflections, and gratitude before or during your prayer time. Grab a dedicated journal and a pen, and let your thoughts flow onto the page. You might start by listing everything you're grateful for, then move into any worries or confessions, and finally, articulate your hopes and petitions. The physical act of writing can clarify your thoughts, help you process emotions more thoroughly, and prevent your mind from wandering. It also provides a tangible record of your spiritual journey, a beautiful way to look back and see how your prayers have evolved, and how your connection has grown over time. It's like creating a personal dialogue with the divine that you can revisit whenever you need inspiration or a reminder of your path. Then there's silent prayer or meditation. For those who find words daunting or unnecessary, this can be a profoundly powerful path. Here, the focus isn't on speaking or formulating thoughts, but simply resting in the presence of the divine, the universe, or your own inner wisdom. It's about creating space to listen, to receive peace, intuition, or a sense of presence without the need for verbal expression. You might focus on your breath, a single calming word like peace or love, or a mental image that brings you serenity. The goal is mindful presence, a quiet communion where your heart simply connects. This practice can be incredibly restorative, allowing your mind to truly quiet down and prepare for sleep without the effort of verbalizing anything. Finally, we have visualizations. This method often works beautifully in conjunction with any of the other forms. Visualizations involve using your imagination to enhance your prayer experience. For example, you might visualize your worries as leaves floating down a stream, gently drifting away into the distance. Or you could imagine a warm, golden light filling your body, soothing every cell and bringing you a sense of profound peace. You might picture divine light surrounding your loved ones, offering them protection and comfort. You could also visualize your higher power or a guiding figure sitting beside you, offering comfort and listening intently. Visualizations engage a different part of your brain, making the experience more immersive and tangible, helping to calm the nervous system and shift your mental state towards peace and surrender. It transforms abstract concepts into felt experiences. As you can see, the options are plentiful. The most important thing is to approach bedtime prayer with an open heart and a willingness to explore. Don't feel pressured to pick just one method. You might find yourself drawn to different approaches on different nights, depending on your energy levels and what you're seeking. Experiment, be gentle with yourself, and remember that any sincere effort to connect before sleep is valuable. Okay, so we've explored the immense potential of bedtime prayer. But let's be real for a moment. Embarking on any new practice, especially one that asks us to slow down and reflect, often comes with its own set of challenges. You might encounter resistance, doubt, or simply a wandering mind. And that's perfectly normal. Think of these not as roadblocks, but as natural steps on your path to a deeper practice. Let's tackle some of the most common hurdles you might face and offer practical solutions. First up, the ubiquitous distraction and wandering mind. You settle in, you try to focus, and suddenly your brain decides it's the perfect time to remind you about that email you forgot to send, or what you're having for breakfast tomorrow. This happens to everyone, even seasoned meditators and those deeply rooted in prayer. The key here is not to fight these thoughts, but to acknowledge them without judgment. When your mind drifts, gently say to yourself, okay, I see that thought, and then, with compassion, redirect your attention back to your prayer or your breath. Think of your breath as an anchor, always there to bring you back to the present moment. Don't beat yourself up. The act of gently bringing your focus back is a powerful practice in itself. Start with shorter periods if needed. Even 60 seconds of focused intention can be transformative, and gradually build your mental stamina. Next, you might grapple with feeling unworthy or guilty. Perhaps you had a difficult day, made some mistakes, or feel you're not spiritual enough to pray. This is a profound trap. Remember, bedtime prayer is about connection, not perfection. You don't need to earn your right to connect with your higher power, the universe, or your inner wisdom. Come as you are, with all your flaws and imperfections. If you feel guilt, acknowledge it, offer yourself and others forgiveness, and then release it. The beauty of this practice is that it's a space of grace, not judgment. It's an opportunity to reset, to let go of what weighs you down, and to remember that you are always worthy of peace, comfort, and connection. Another common challenge is not knowing what to say. You might sit there, wanting to pray, but the words just won't come. You might worry about finding the right words or sounding eloquent. Let me assure you, authenticity trumps eloquence every single time. Start simple. You can begin with just one word: thank you, peace, love, help. Use the core components we discussed earlier as a framework. Go through them like prompts. What am I grateful for today? Where could I have been more patient? What do I need strength for tomorrow? Who can I hold in my thoughts? If speaking aloud feels awkward, try journaling your prayer, writing down your thoughts and intentions. There are also countless guided prayers available online and through apps that can provide a wonderful starting point until you find your own voice. Then there's the challenge of lack of time or fatigue. I'm too tired, I don't have enough time, you might think as you crawl into bed. This is where flexibility and a recalibration of expectations come in. Even a very brief prayer is incredibly potent. Think quality over quantity. If you only have 1 minute, make that minute count. Integrate it into an existing routine, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're pulling back the covers, or right after you turn off the light. A sincere 30-second moment of gratitude and surrender is far more beneficial than skipping it altogether because you feel you don't have 15 minutes. Remember, consistency, even in small doses, is what builds the habit. Perhaps the most profound challenge for some is doubt or a lack of belief. You might wonder, does anyone even hear me, or is this even real if I don't believe in a traditional God? This practice transcends dogma. If traditional religious belief doesn't resonate with you, approach bedtime prayer as a powerful mindfulness practice, a daily ritual of self-care and positive intention setting. Focus on the tangible psychological and emotional benefits: stress reduction, gratitude cultivation, emotional processing. Frame it as connecting with universal positive energy, your higher self, or simply the peaceful quiet within. Treat it as an experiment. Observe how you feel before and after. The peace, clarity, and improved sleep are often undeniable, regardless of your specific belief system. Finally, a particularly ironic challenge: falling asleep during prayer. You're trying to connect, to reflect, and suddenly you're drifting off. While this can be frustrating, it also means you're deeply relaxed, which is part of the goal. To mitigate it, try to adjust your timing slightly. Pray before you're completely exhausted, perhaps while still sitting up in bed, or even at your dresser, before you get into bed. Keeping your prayer concise and focused when you know you're prone to drowsiness can also help. And remember, if you do drift off with a peaceful intention, consider it a gentle transition into sleep, not a failure. Your mind and body still received the calming input. Each of these challenges is an opportunity for growth, a chance to deepen your understanding of yourself and your practice. Be patient, be persistent, and above all, be compassionate with yourself. Every sincere effort, no matter how imperfect, moves you closer to a more peaceful night and a more connected life. Now that we've explored the nuts and bolts of bedtime prayer and tackled some common hurdles, let's talk about personalization. This isn't a one-size-fits-all practice, it's deeply personal and incredibly adaptable. You have the power to mold it into something that truly resonates with your unique beliefs and lifestyle. First, let's address the incredibly important aspect of non-denominational and spiritual approaches. We understand that not everyone identifies with a specific religious framework, and that is absolutely fine. The core essence of bedtime prayer, that conscious moment of reflection, gratitude, and surrender, is universal. If traditional religious language doesn't speak to you, you can still embrace this powerful practice. Instead of praying to a specific deity, you might focus on connecting with universal consciousness, the wisdom of the universe, or simply your own deepest inner self. Your intention could be to set positive affirmations for the morning, to practice profound gratitude for the simple fact of being alive, or to release worries into the vastness of the cosmos. Think of it as a moment to align with positive energy, to find inner peace, and to consciously prepare your mind and spirit for restorative rest. It's about building a connection to something greater than yourself, whether you define that as nature, interconnectedness, or simply the wellspring of peace within your own heart. Moving beyond individual practice, family bedtime prayer offers a beautiful opportunity for connection and shared spiritual growth. Imagine the comfort and security you can instill in children by making bedtime prayer a consistent, loving ritual. It's a wonderful way to teach gratitude, empathy, and the importance of reflection from a young age. Keep it simple and age-appropriate. Perhaps you take turns sharing one thing you're grateful for from the day, or one person you'd like to send positive thoughts to. A short, sweet prayer like "Thank you for this day, for our family, and for our home. Please watch over us tonight and help us have peaceful dreams" can become a cherished part of your family's evening routine. It's not just about teaching them to pray, it's about creating a bond, fostering a sense of security, and guiding them to acknowledge blessings and express care for others. The benefits extend to adult relationships as well. Couples or group prayer can be an incredibly intimate and strengthening practice. Sharing your intentions, your gratitude, or even your daily struggles with a partner before sleep can deepen your bond, foster mutual understanding, and provide immense comfort. It's a moment to reinforce your support for one another, to set shared positive intentions for your life together, or simply to rest in a shared space of peace and presence. Whether it's a silent moment of holding hands, or a spoken prayer for each other's well-being, it builds a powerful sense of unity and shared spiritual journey. For many, prayer through song or music elevates the experience to a different level. There's something uniquely moving about expressing devotion or seeking solace through melody and rhythm. Whether it's a traditional hymn, a modern spiritual song, a chant, or even just calming instrumental music, sound can bypass our often overthinking minds and go straight to the heart. Music can shift your mood, calm your nervous system, and help you enter a state of peaceful receptivity more quickly than words alone. Consider creating a gentle, calming playlist specifically for your bedtime routine to help set a sacred atmosphere. Finally, don't underestimate the power of tactile aids in your bedtime prayer. Sometimes, engaging our sense of touch can help us focus and feel more grounded. This could be as traditional as using prayer beads or a rosary, where each bead marks a prayer or a mantra, helping you keep count and maintain focus. Or it could be something as simple as holding a smooth stone, a special amulet, a cross, or any object that holds personal significance and brings you comfort. This tactile connection can provide a physical anchor for your spiritual intention, helping to quiet the mental chatter and center you in the present moment. It's a tangible reminder of your practice and a source of calm energy as you transition into sleep. Remember, the goal here is not rigid adherence, but authentic connection. Feel free to mix and match these variations, experiment, and truly make your bedtime prayer a reflection of your unique spirit and needs. You've embarked on this journey, exploring the landscape of bedtime prayer, understanding its historical roots, its immense benefits, and how to practically weave it into your routine. But what happens after you've taken those initial steps? How do you move from simply doing bedtime prayer to truly deepening your practice and experiencing a long-term transformation in your life? This is where the real magic begins. First and foremost, consistency is key. Think of your spiritual practice like building any muscle. You wouldn't expect to go to the gym once and suddenly be incredibly strong. Likewise, your spiritual muscle, your capacity for peace, gratitude, and connection, grows with regular exercise. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. There will be nights when you're tired, distracted, or feel like you have nothing profound to say. That's okay. Even 60 seconds of sincere intention, a simple thank you or a quiet moment of surrender, done consistently, accumulates over time. These small, steady efforts are what build resilience, deepen your connection, and embed this sacred practice into the very fabric of your being. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a night, simply return to the practice the next evening with renewed intention. The act of showing up, day after day, regardless of how you feel, is a powerful prayer in itself. To truly understand how your practice is evolving, consider journaling your insights. This isn't just about writing down your prayers, though that's a wonderful practice in itself. It's about reflecting on how your prayer experience changes over time. What did you feel before and after your prayer? Did you gain any specific insights or moments of clarity? Did you notice subtle shifts in your perspective during the day that you can trace back to your nightly reflections? Sometimes, we receive answers or guidance not as booming voices, but as quiet intuitions, new ideas, or a shift in how we perceive a challenge. Journaling creates a tangible record, allowing you to track your progress, recognize patterns, and witness the growth of your inner world. It's a dialogue, a written conversation with your higher self or the divine, that can reveal profound connections and answered prayers that might otherwise go unnoticed. The most exciting aspect of a consistent bedtime prayer practice is the ripple effect it creates throughout your entire life. When you consistently release the day's burdens, cultivate gratitude, and surrender your worries before sleep, you're not just improving your sleep quality, you're fundamentally shifting your state of being. A peaceful night translates into a more mindful, resilient, and positive waking life. You might find yourself less reactive to daily stressors, more patient with loved ones, and approaching challenges with a clearer head. The seeds of gratitude planted before bed blossom into a more appreciative outlook during the day. The trust and surrender you practice nightly can empower you to navigate uncertainties with greater calm and confidence. It's a beautiful, self-reinforcing cycle where your nightly spiritual discipline elevates your daily experience, and a more positive day naturally leads to a more peaceful night. This ripple effect extends beyond the bedside. The peace, gratitude, and connection you cultivate at night aren't meant to be confined to those quiet moments before sleep. They are meant to be carried with you, integrated into every moment of your waking life. How can you carry that sense of presence and gratitude into your morning commute, your work interactions, or your family time? It might mean taking a few mindful breaths before a difficult meeting, consciously offering a silent prayer of thanks for a simple pleasure like a cup of tea, or extending an extra measure of patience to someone who needs it. Bedtime prayer becomes a training ground, a spiritual gym where you hone the qualities you want to embody throughout your day. It's about cultivating an inner sanctuary that you can access at any time, anywhere. Ultimately, this practice is a powerful catalyst for deepening your spiritual growth. Bedtime prayer isn't just about asking for things, it's about a profound journey of self-discovery and connection. Through consistent reflection, gratitude, and surrender, you gain a deeper understanding of who you are, what truly matters to you, and your place in the larger tapestry of existence. You begin to recognize your inherent worthiness, process your emotions in healthier ways, and align with your true purpose. Whether you connect with a specific divine entity, universal energy, or your own inner wisdom, this nightly ritual strengthens that bond, bringing a sense of comfort, guidance, and unwavering presence into your life. It's about evolving, becoming more conscious, more compassionate, and more authentically yourself. It's a gentle yet profound path to living a life imbued with greater meaning, peace, and spiritual vitality. We've journeyed together through the profound landscape of bedtime prayer today, uncovering its ancient roots, its incredible modern benefits, and a practical roadmap to integrate this transformative practice into your own life. We've seen that bedtime prayer, in essence, is an accessible, powerful tool, not limited by dogma or creed, but open to anyone seeking a deeper sense of peace, truly restorative sleep, and a richer connection to something greater than themselves, whatever that may mean for you. From offloading the day's mental burdens and reducing stress, to cultivating an attitude of profound gratitude and fostering emotional resilience, the benefits cascade far beyond just the moments before sleep. It's about consciously shifting your state, preparing your mind and body to transcend the day's anxieties, and inviting a serene stillness that paves the way for healing and rest. It's a dedicated space to process, to release, to connect, and ultimately, to surrender the day's burdens, trusting that all will be well. This nightly ritual isn't just about closing out the day, it's about setting a powerful intention for the night, for your sleep, and for the day that is yet to come. It's an investment in your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, consistently paying dividends in your overall quality of life. Perhaps the most important takeaway from our time together is this: don't strive for perfection in your prayer. Don't worry about finding the right words, or adhering to a rigid formula. Strive for connection. Strive for authenticity. Even if it's just a heartfelt sigh of gratitude, a silent moment of surrender, or a simple, earnest whisper, "Thank you," or "Help me," that genuine intention holds immense power. Understand that your prayer journey is personal and evolving. There will be nights when your mind races, when fatigue makes it hard to focus, or when doubts creep in. That's perfectly normal. Be gentle with yourself. Show up as you are, where you are, and trust that even a minute of sincere engagement can sow seeds of peace that grow throughout your night and into your waking life. This practice is not about being flawless, it's about showing up with an open heart and a willingness to connect, even when it feels difficult. Now, I invite you to take what you've learned today and put it into practice. Consider this a personal challenge. For the next 7 nights, commit to incorporating just one element of bedtime prayer into your routine. Perhaps it's a moment of gratitude, a simple plea for guidance, or a quiet period of surrender. Observe, without judgment, the subtle or even profound shifts you experience in your sleep quality, your morning mindset, and your overall sense of well-being. Think of it as a beautiful experiment in self-care and spiritual growth. You might be truly surprised by the peace you unlock. To support you on this journey, there's a wealth of resources available. If you're looking for guided prayers, many apps and YouTube channels offer wonderful options tailored to various traditions and non-denominational approaches. Explore books on mindfulness, gratitude, and spiritual practices if you wish to delve deeper into the philosophical underpinnings. And remember, you're not alone. There are countless online communities and local groups where you can find support and shared wisdom. Don't hesitate to seek out what resonates with you and aids your personal practice. If this comprehensive guide to bedtime prayer resonated with you, if it sparked a flicker of hope or provided you with practical tools for a more peaceful night, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. Your engagement truly helps us reach more people who might benefit from this ancient yet incredibly relevant practice. And if you're keen to continue exploring topics of holistic well-being, mindfulness, and spiritual growth, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives. Finally, I truly want to hear from you. What are your own bedtime routines? Have you already experienced the power of nightly reflection? Or perhaps you're just starting and have questions or insights to share. Please, leave your thoughts, experiences, and any personal prayers in the comments section below. Let's build a supportive community where we can learn and grow together. Your stories are invaluable. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of bedtime prayer. May your nights be filled with peace, your sleep be restorative, and your spirit ever connected. Until next time, sleep well, and live with intention.